respected principal ma'am, teachers and all my dear friends. We are here to present our science project Tesla coils. The concept behind this activity is based on important physics principles and real life applications which will be explained by my friends.
This experiment demonstrates the working model of a Tesla coil, high voltage transformer developed by Nikola Tesla. It works on the principle of electromagnetic induction and resonance. The primary coil creates a rapid changing in magnetic field, which produces a very high voltage in the secondary coil.
This results in the production of high frequency alternating current and visible electrical discharge. Tesla coils are used in wireless transmission experiments and in studying high voltage phenomena.
This project demonstrates how the fundamental principle of physics like electromagnetism and induction are applied in modern technology and real life applications. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present our science project eddy current. The concept behind our project is based on the important principles of physics and the real life applications in the experiment.
This experiment demonstrates the eddy currents, which are loops of a current induced in the conductor, and according to Faraday's law, when there is a change in the magnetic field, there will be a formation of an eddy current, and according to Lenz's law, the eddy currents oppose the motion that produces by the magnet. And the applications are electric brakes and induction of heating.
Finally, this project demonstrates the fundamental laws of physics such as electromagnetism and induction, which is applied on real life applications. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present our science project magnetic gravitation field. This concept and its real life application will be explained by my friend.
The levitating magnetic pen project. Magnetic levitating pen project demonstrates how an object can float in air using magnetic forces. When two magnet ripples are arranged with same pole facing each other, they repel, creating an upward force. In this model, the repulsive force balances the downward pull of gravity, allowing pen to suspend in air. This principle is based on how electromagnetic levitating overcome gravity. Real life applications of this are magnetic train and frictionless system.
This project demonstrates how fundamental principles of physics are applied in real life. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. Today, I, Chinmay Joshi, with my friends Sameha Aira and Samira Anjum, are here to demonstrate a project on magnetic levitation principle. The concept behind our activity is based on the important principles of physics and real-life applications will be explained by my friends. This experiment demonstrates the levitating which occurs due to the repulsive force when between like poles and magnet. When two like poles are arranged at the same, facing each other, then the repulsive force occurs. If this magnetic force balances gravitational force acting on the pencil remains suspended in air. This is an example of equilibrium of forces.
This project demonstrates how fundamental physics like electromagnetism and induction work applied in modern tech and real life application. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning everyone, respected principal ma'am and my teachers. Today we are here to present our science project wireless power transfer. The objectives behind this project are real life examples and electromagnetism and induction, and further my friend will explain the concept.
This experiment is about wireless power transfer using electromagnetic induction, where electric current flows through the primary coil, and the current flows through the nearby secondary coil and it gets connected. This is based on Faraday's laws of induction. The principle is based on electric toothbrush, wireless chargers and modern wireless charging system.
As we connect the battery, the light will be glowing as it glows because of the coil primary, and it has copper wire which demonstrate the power, and it will produce light. So as I conclude, the concept behind our project is important principle of physics and like magnetism and induction in modern technology and real life applications. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, respected principals, respected teachers and my dear friends. Today we are here to present project on electromagnetic wave. The concept of electromagnetic wave and the applications will be explained by me.
This model demonstrates the concept of an electromagnetic train based on the interaction between electric currents and magnetic fields. When current flows through a magnetic field, it experiences a force. This force is explained by Fleming's left-hand rule, which determines the direction of motion. The train moves due to this magnetic force. This principle is applied in electric trains and modern transportation systems.
This project demonstrates how fundamental physics like electromagnetism and induction are applied in modern technology and real life applications. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am Anisha Patil with my friend Samruta here to present our science project Simple Electrical Motor. The concept behind this activity will be explained by my friend. When electric current passes through a coil placed in a magnetic field, the coil experiences a force due to the interaction between magnetic field and electric current. This force helps the coil to rotate continuously. The principle behind this activity is Fleming's left-hand rule. Electric motors are widely used in mixers, washing machines, fans and other electric materials. We would conclude by saying that this activity helps us understand scientific principle in a clear and practical way and shows its application in real life. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present our science activity, Fireproof Balloon. This concept behind this activity will be explained by my friend Kritika.
This experiment demonstrates the high specific heat capacity of water. When a balloon filled with air is exposed on the flame, it bursts because the rubber is sticky and it breaks.
However, when the balloon contains water, the heat from the flame absorbed by the water.
Since water has a high specific heat capacity, it absorbs a large amount of heat in it without any significant rise in the temperature. Since the rubber does not overheat and the balloon does not burst.
This principle is used in cooling systems like car radiators and industrial cooling processes. This activity helps us understand the specific principle in clear and practical way and shows its application in real life.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present the activity magnetic levitation. The concept behind the activity will explain by my friend.
The magnetic levitation is a demonstrate how an object can be floated using a magnetic force. When two magnets are brought near each other, they repel and force. In this model, this force balances the downward pull of gravity, allowing the pen to appear suspended in the air. This principle is based on magnetic levitation and shows how invisible magnet forces can be overcome gravity. It has real-life application in technology like maglev trains and frictional system.
This activity helps us to understand the scientific principle
This model is based on Newton's third law of motion, which states that every action has an equivalent and opposite reaction.
Activity. When air is released from the balloon, it exerts force backward and an equal force pushes the car forward.
This demonstrates the concept of momentum. This principle is widely used in jet engines and rockets and in space technology.
It helps us to understand scientific principle in a clear and practical way. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, respected teachers and our friends. We are here to perform our science activity evaluation. The concept behind this activity will be explained by my friends.
This experiment demonstrates the principle of Bernoulli's theorem. According to the Bernoulli's theorem, when the velocity of fluid increases, its pressure is active.
As the low pressure remains around the object while surrounding air at higher pressure. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my young friends. My friend Sharanya and I, teacher Natasha, here to explain our activity, working water experiment. This activity will be explained by my friend. This activity demonstrates capillary action, which is the movement of liquid through narrow spaces without any external force. It occurs due to combined effect of adhesion and cohesion. Adhesion means attraction between water and paper fiber. Cohesion means attraction between water molecules. Moves upwards against the gravity from paper towel from one container to another. This principle is essential for plants for transportation of water from roots to leaves through xylem vessels. This activity helps us understand the scientific way in a clear and practical way and shows its application in real life. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and all my dear friends. We are here to present our science activity as follows. The concept behind this activity will be explained by our friend Prabhu.
The experiment demonstrates combustion of ethanol, which is a chemical reaction with oxygen. Ethanol burns with a pale blue flame due to complete combustion, producing carbon dioxide and water. The combustion produces less heat and light because the flame is less visible because it produces less heat and light. The experiment highlights clean fuel combustion and emphasizes the importance of safety while handling flammable substances.
This activity helps us to understand scientific principles in a clear and a practical way and shows its applications in real life. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am Anyuka with my friend Srisha and Icha here to present our science activity on the concept based on electromagnetic induction. This demonstrates the electromagnetic induction discovered by Michael Faraday. When a magnet is moved relative to a coil, it causes a change in magnetic flux and induces electric current in the coil. This is explained by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction.
Principle is widely used in generators, transformers, and power plants for electricity generation. This activity helps us understand the scientific principle in a clear and practical way and shows its application in real life. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and dear friends. We are here to present our science activity, balloon overcraft. The concept behind this activity will be explained by my friend.
And balloon will save the air spreads under steering and help it to move, slide or smoothly. And balloon will save the air spreads under steering and help it to move, slide or smoothly. This activity helps us understand the scientific principle in a clear and specific way, and shows its application in real life. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present our science activity, gravitation anti-gravity. The concept behind our activity will be explained by friend. Our activity demonstrates anti-gravity, where an object appears to float without touching any surfaces. You can see this. This is not true anti-gravity, but it happens due to magnetic or air force acting against gravity. The upward force of gravity balances the downward force, making the object remain suspended in air. This principle is used in advanced technologies of magnet rings.
In this activity, we can see scientific concept in which we can understand simple and practical ways.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present our science activity, balloon overcraft. The concept behind our activity will be explained by my friend.
These experiments demonstrate how an air fusion reduces friction. When air is released from the balloon, it spreads under the CD and forms a thin layer. This layer reduces contact with the surface, allowing the overcraft to move smoothly. This shows how reduced friction can make motion easier. Thank you.
This activity helps us to understand the scientific concept in a simple and practical way. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We are here to present our science activity, magnetic levitation strength. Concept behind our activity will be explained by my friend.
In a solar electric moves due to the interaction between electric current and magnetic field. When electric current passes through a conductor, it creates magnetic fields, which interacts with the magnet placed in the setup and produces a force which pushes the train forward. This shows that electricity can be converted into motion, and this is the basic principle of electric motors.
This activity helps us to understand the scientific concept in a simple and practical way. Thank you.
When the magnet is brought relative to the coil, it results in the production of electricity. It changes the magnetic flux of them. This experiment was first discovered by Michael Faraday. This principle is also used in generators, transformers to produce electricity. Thank you.
This activity helps us to understand scientific concepts in simple and practical way. Thank you.
Today I, Jyotika and my friends Chinmay and Fatima are going to present today's activity, Hotel Balloon. The concept behind our activity will be explained by my friend Chinmay. When the air is heated, it expands and becomes less dense compared to the surrounding cooler air. As a result, we get lighter hot air rises up and lifts the balloon. The same principle is used in the real hot air balloon for transportation and adventure rides. This activity helps us understand scientific concept in a simple and practical way. Thank you. Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am Rachna Reddy with my friend Banushree and Kuba of grade 7 are here to present our science activity. Fire Group 1. Concept behind my activity will be explained by my friends. This experiment shows that water absorbs heat. When a air-filled balloon, we will keep near to it, it will blast. But water-filled balloon does not blast quickly because this water takes in the heat and protects the rubber. This experiment proves that water has a high heat of capacity. The activities show that the activities helps us to understand that scientific concept in a simple and practical way. Thank you. We are Shreya and my friend Maitri and Vaishnavi. We are here to present an experiment called Invisible Flame. The experiment will explained by my friends. An invisible flame is a flame which is difficult to see. We use a glass, sanitizer and a matchstick with a piece of paper. First we pour sanitizer in a glass of water and fire it with matchstick. The flame is formed but not visible. To prove the flame is there, we bring the piece of paper near it carefully. And it starts to burn. This proves that the flame is there but not visible. Invisible flames are dangerous and we must be careful with them. This experiment helps us understand the scientific concept behind it in a simple and practical way. Science helps us understand hidden dangers around us. Thank you. Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present our science activity, Fluffyfish. This activity demonstrates a chemical reaction between baking soda and vinegar. Baking soda is the base and vinegar is the acid. When they both react, they produce carbon dioxide gas and water and a salt. Carbon dioxide release fills the balloon, making it expand like a fluffyfish. This is an example of an acid-base reaction. It also used in fire extinction and
rubber sheet at the bottom represent the diaphragm. When the diaphragm is pushed downwards, the space inside increases, causing the air to enter into the lungs and making them expand. When the diaphragm is moved upwards, the space inside decreases, causing the air to push outwards. This model helps us to understand the process of breathing in simple and practical way. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am here to show my science activity with my friend Khushi. The concept behind my activity will be said by my friend.
This model works on principle of reduced friction using an air fusion. When the air is released out from the balloon, it spreads under the base, forming a thin layer of air between the base and the surface. This layer helps the object to move smoothly with very little resistance. This concept is used in real overcraft which can travel over the land and water efficiently.
This activity helps us to understand the scientific concept behind it in a simple and practical way. Thank you.
Everyone present over here, respected principal ma'am, teachers and my dear friends. We, Sakshi, Smritika and Vedika are from grade 7 to present our science activity, Balloon Planet Lab. The concept behind this activity will be explained by my friends.
This model represents the solar system. The light source in the center acts as a sun, which is the main source of energy for all planets. The balloon represents different planets. Planets do not produce their own light, they reflect sunlight. All planets revolve around the sun in fixed paths called orbits and also rotate on their own axis.
Through this model, we understand the arrangement of planets, the importance of the sun, and the concept of light reflection in space.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. We are here to present our science activity density tower. The concept behind activity will be explained by my friend.
The activity demonstrates the concept of density, which is defined as mass per unit volume. Different liquids have different densities, so they form separate layers when thrown together.
Liquid reflects at the bottom while the less dense remains on the top. Objects placed in the tower will be float or sink depending on its density related to the liquids. This helps us understanding why some objects float while others sink.
This activity helps us to understand the scientific concept in a simple and practical way.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am here to present the science activity sunlight. The model represents the solar system. This light source is the center of the sun, which is the main source of energy for our planets. Planets do not produce their own light. They are visible because they reflect sunlight. All planets revolve around the sun in fixed paths called orbits, and different liquids are stacked in a jar. It works because every liquid has a density, which is how tightly packed. Its molecules are heavier. Denser liquids like honey sinks to the bottom, and while lighter, less dense liquids like honey floats to the top.
From this activity, we can understand scientific concept in a simple and
way.
First, we will add some honey. Next, we will add some water. And next, we will add oil.
This experiment demonstrates the heat absorbing property of water. A balloon filled with only air does not burst quickly when exposed to flame. However, a balloon filled with water does not burst easily. This because the water absorbs the heat energy and prevents rubber from overheating and breaking. This shows that water has high heat capacity and acts as a cooling agent. This activity helps us understand scientific method easily and practical way. Thank you.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am Chanavira and my friend Avani. We are here. This is a working model of a lungs. Balloons acts as a lungs and a rubber sheet at the bottom acts as a diaphragm. When it is pulled down, the air increases and increases.
The straw represents trachea. When it is blown, this is known as inhalation. The air goes through the straw into the balloon. The balloon increases just how the lungs expand. This is known as inhalation, breathing in. When I do not blow or release the air blows out the balloon. The balloon shrinks just how the lungs become and gets smaller. This is known as exhalation, breathing out. The model shows how the air enters and leaves the lungs through the trachea. This is known as inhalation and exhalation.
This activity helps us to understand scientific concept in a simple and practical way. Thanks.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. Myself, Gaurav Goda, with my friend Shivanjali Kalki. We are here to present our science activity.
This model works on a principle in this fiction when I is from a balloon in the air from the gas. The layer of the air between surface and object.
This layer reduces friction, allowing the object to move
practical way. Thanks. Good morning, respected teachers and media friends. I am with my friend Manasa and Mitali. I am here to present my science activity. Students know this activity uses a superboost polymer which has the ability to absorb the water in its own weight. When water is added in the polymer, quickly absorbs it and make fluffy and snow, instant snow. This polymer absorbs and expands such materials used in real life, in papers, in scientists, and in agriculture to moisturize the soil. This activity helps us to understand scientific concepts in a simple and practical way. Thank you. Good morning, teachers and my dear friends. I am going to present my science activity. This activity is based on the law of motion, which states for every action there is an opposite reaction. When the balloon is inflated and the air is released, the air rushes backward. This creates forward force that moves a car ahead. This process is called inflation. This is this activity helps us to understand how force and motion work together. This activity help us understand the scientific concept in a simple and practical way. Thank you. Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. My name is Safika. My name is we are here to present our science activity. This experiment is based on the principle that hot hair raises when the hair is there. It expands and less denser surrounding fuller hair. As a result, the lighter hot air raises upward and distributed. The same principle is used in real hot air balloons for transportation and agriculture. This activity helps us understand the scientific concepts in simple and practical way. Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am here to present my science activity, Fluffy Fish. This activity